Hello and welcome to DOA Gaming's first episode of SimCity's 15-minute series with me, Ash. We're going to start a brand new game today and we're going to start from scratch using just the basic SimCity. So let's get started. Going to start a new game today, ideally in a decent sized map. You want somewhere with plenty of flat land, really. I'm not a big fan of creating cities on high level maps because it just poses more of a challenge and it's just can't be bothered with that. I'm going to have a private region because we don't want other people joining in halfway through the city. Now when it comes to picking your city, the best thing to do is to pick different elements that you want. You're looking for coal, ore, oil, stuff like that, and water and wind's always important as well. Yeah, the more oil and ore and stuff like that, the more money you could make if you go for an industrial city. Let's have a look. Yeah, we'll go for something like that. You always want plenty of water in your city, obviously, and wind's always a good starter because you always want to start with a wind-powered farm to get started. It's always a good idea as well when you start a city to have an idea of what sort of city you want to build. For this one, I think I'm going to go for an industrial city with plenty of education and plenty of Sims living in my city as well, because if you've got education running with industrial, the industrial becomes cleaner and more technical, so it's not so bad. Okay, let's get started. I always suggest when you get started, you always build just a little bit more of the high density avenue when you start, just so you've got a little bit more to play with. You've just got to keep an eye on this money down here though. And always, if you're going to build industrial, which let's face it, you're going to have to build some, I'd always suggest looking at the wind as well. See which direction the wind's travelling. So the wind's going that way, so it's best if we build industrial over here and more of the residential and commercial over this way. Another recommendation I'd say is start with low density streets and upgrade them as you go along, because it'll wipe all your money out if you go too far. First things first, really, we want to get a bit of residential and a bit of industrial started just to get the Sims into the city. Have a bit of that. And of course commercial, just to get some shops in your city as well. You always got to consider as well when you first get started, along with obviously building industrial residential, you need to consider these three elements here. Power, which like I say, I always recommend starting with wind until you've got more money coming in. And obviously the wind direction's going this way, so it's best to build it that way. Water, you can generally get away with water towers until a fair bit into the game. And you're going to need sewage as well, and I always say put them over in the industrial area because industrial's already going to wreck the area, so you might as well get it a little bit more wrecked. Speed things up a bit.
Always keep an eye on your
budget as well, because if it gets too much going out and not enough coming in, you are going to go bankrupt pretty quick, whereas at the moment this isn't too bad. It should start going up pretty quick soon once people start moving in. You've always got the option of the bonds as well, which I sometimes start with just to help you out, depending on how quick you want to get things started. At the moment it's saying that we ain't got no power, but that's because not enough people have moved in yet, but they will do pretty quick. And we've now got permission to build the town hall. Now with town hall, again, you've always got to consider when you upgrade the town hall, you need space around it to put in your different areas. So I'd say somewhere like that, because then when it upgrades, when you put your different upgrades on it, it can be quite spread out, so you always want to add that into it as well. Keep it at that for now. Now like I say, I'm going to go for a more industrial city with education involved as well, so when you get to your first upgrade with your town hall at 5,000 residents, I'd say I'll probably go for education first, start getting that out the way. Now obviously I can build coal and ore in this city, so we need to see where. See, that's a bit of a pain where the ore is, but we'll come to that in a bit. It's a lot of money to be made off ore, especially. What are they saying? Not enough freight. Right, let's get some more roads built now. Start putting some more residential into the area. Bearing in mind you do need to keep a bit of room for the town hall, but we can always build roads going that way if we need to. Let's get some more Sims moving in. Again, with industrial, you do have to remember the freight. Obviously the industrial buildings do create freight, and they're always looking for places to get rid of it, so pretty quick it's a good idea to get a trade depot put in. And you can find trade depots through here. You do need to get one set up pretty quick, because otherwise industrial buildings will close down. Need more money. 10,000. We'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, you need to put in more money into the trading of things, otherwise industrial will close and commercial will suffer as well. So you do want to invest pretty quick in all of that. Commercial does use the freight, but not enough to keep up with the amount that the industrial area creates. I should be able to build one now. So that should keep them happy for a bit. Now like I say, I'm going to go for education, I think, in this city. Try and make the industrial area grow really big. So, pretty quick we want to get started. You don't have to be in the red for it to be worth it. I already know that. Why is it showing me that? Go away. Thank you. Right, anyway, let's get back to that. I'm going to extend the high density avenue a little bit more now, just so that we can start building a little bit further out. Let's drag that out a bit more. See, now comes a time where I'd say this is where I usually build, take out a bond, just to give you a little bit of free money sort of thing, just to help you out get building. Let's extend that a little bit more. Now generally I like to keep things gridded in my city, just because it's a little bit neater. But obviously you can build it how you want. I'll throw in a couple of bridges later on when it starts getting busier as well, so that the workforce can get home easier. I suppose we could build a bit more industrial as well. Now these aren't necessarily the most attractive cities when you've got it all gridded out, but it does, to get started, it certainly helps. And generally I like to keep the low value houses for a while as well, because you can fit more of those than you can mansions to start with. Right, I suppose we could get started with the education now. We can always put the grade school in. Have that over here. Not enough simoleons again. That for a little bit now. This is the big pain when you first get started. You do need to give it some time just to get the money up, and as you can see I'm earning over 3,000 an hour now, so that certainly helps. And we need those Sims to start arriving so we can upgrade our city hall. Obviously you can build any sort of city you want with the Sims. You can have gambling cities, industrial, anything like that, but like I said, I'm going to start this city with industrial. Maybe if I move on to another city eventually, go for tourism. And this is something you've always got to remember as well. Obviously waste disposal, fire, health and police, they're all going to need to be added at some point as well. See what. See, they added this into it, the whole Maxie's Man and Dr. Vu and all this, but I've never bothered with it because it adds a whole new element to the game that I really can't be bothered with, if I'm honest. So I just stick to my normal city building. They are actually bringing now the offline mode to the SimCity very soon as well, which is definitely going to help for those who either don't have an internet connection or don't have a very strong one. So that's pretty good. It's just a shame that they can't build bigger city limits. If you could build a city double this size, it would be much better, but apparently it's not possible. Right, we've got the money now, so we're going to build our school. Now you have got to consider, when you build your school, buses and bus stops. So where the green lines on the road mean there's more connection there, sort of thing. So we do that. Now the industrial area is not really important because there's not that many school kids waiting to be picked up around there, so I generally leave that. And then you've just got to build your buses for your school. Speed up time a bit. plenty of sims rolling in as well now, so that's good. Get a couple more buses built. That'll do for now. The sooner you get education started, the quicker that things such as hazmat destruction and that over in the industrial area gets wiped out. Especially when you start building things like a university, but yeah. So we're getting pretty close now to the 5,000, so hopefully that'll get us to it soon, and then we can upgrade our city hall and put the education upgrade in. Always keep an eye on your electricity as well, because we're doing alright at the minute, but as soon as the industrial starts picking up, it will go down very quick. Getting pretty close now to the 5,000. There we go. Sorted. So you can have all the different upgrades and departments in your city. You can have all. You can go for finance, safety, such and such. But yeah, obviously to start with, I can get along quite well with just a normal police station and all that. It's the education that I want to get picked up. So put that in. Now to start with, the whole education department ain't going to make a lot of difference because we've got the grade school for now, but we can now build other things. But you've got to wait until you've got at least 500 students in your grade school. But that shouldn't be a problem once the buses start going out and collecting all these sims. Have a look where the ore is. See, I think I'm going to piss a lot of sims off in a bit and build my ore mine around here somewhere, slap bang in the middle of where they're all living. Shouldn't bother them too much though. Get a bit more road built. Now the guides definitely help with this, only wrong road. You've just got to be careful because they will throw you in all different sizes and stuff, and sometimes they'll give you sizes that are just too small to build, especially when it comes to industrial, like how they've fit 2 rows. You'll have it a little bit too small and then you've just got a lot of wasted space, so always make sure you fill it properly. I think it's about time we have a row of commercial again, get some shops built. Now let's have a look where this ore is. Right, we're about bang on here, so fortunately retail's going to have a bit of a problem. Mining. 22 grand, so let's get that started up. Speed up time a bit. See, now that you've got plenty of industrial started already, I'm on 6.5 grand an hour profit, so it's all good. There we go. Now you want to build it somewhere where you've got plenty of space around it, because obviously you're going to build more towers to extract more ore, so bear in mind that. And of course you need a trading depot, which we've got one actually over here. I think we'll add one ore for now. Speed up time again. And we'll add another one of those and another freight. That should be alright for now. Let's have a look. Classrooms are full already, so we need to start building more classrooms, but I think you need more money for that, so we'll take out a bond here. Now that we've got the actual proper town hall set up, we can take out a 50 grand bond, which certainly helps. And let's get some more classrooms built. The sooner you start getting more Sims into the classroom, then you can start improving your overall education around your city. Now if you've got any suggestions at all, just feel free to comment on what we could do to improve the city. I know obviously I've gone for the gridded approach, but yeah, anything you've got that would maybe improve the city, let us know. We need to build some more bus stops now as well. Now pretty soon, once you start getting plenty of Sims in, you will get told to wealth up by adding parks and stuff, but as soon as you build, especially if you go for formal, that's when you start getting mansions, start building them bigger, and that wipes out, for the space of one house that'll have maybe 6 Sims in, you lose space for maybe 20, so I always try to leave off that for a little while. Full of death. Right, let's get a medical centre built now then. I always try to put all of the different departments like safety and stuff on the main roads, so that the ambulances and fire engines can reach them quicker than through the traffic on the smaller streets, especially when you get started, when you haven't upgraded. Let's put that there. Now obviously for the first couple of episodes we're not going to have a lot to see really, it's just getting started, but especially with your input, if there's anything you want to see, we can certainly have a go. That'll do for now, at least we've got something. See, now we're starting to struggle with power, so especially with the ore mine, it's best to get this fixed up as soon as you can, because if you don't, things like the ore mine will close. Let's put another one in there. Maybe build a big one. Actually no, we'll leave it for now. That should help. Now obviously at the minute with just the one tower, one of the shafts, then it's not going to produce a lot of ore in one go, so we need to get that sorted soon. If you just keep an eye on money. Haven't got a clue how long I've been recording for, but we'll cut it in a minute. Now I tend to like, when I do start wealthing up my areas, I tend to build one area that I like to wealth up more than others, so that you don't have all mansions from the beginning, because it doesn't help. So I think we'll go for top wealth. We'll put a park in. Doesn't want to fit in there. Maybe that one. Nope. Especially with the town hall being around there, it's going to definitely improve the overall area. Let's have a look. Maybe a little plaza at the end here. Just if you build one area up, as you can see, the wealth in that area is starting to rise massively. So I don't want to build the wealth up all over here, even though at the minute it's not doing itself any favours with the ore mine. And we got our first fire. 2 fires. Never good. How much for a fire station? Let's get started then. Now with the fire station you do get the option obviously of adding more station garages, but things like the fire alarm definitely help because it improves the speed in which fire engines respond to the fires in your city. So it certainly helps. Speed up time a bit. We'll leave that for there now. Right, so like I say, doing 15-minute videos or so, we can't do a lot in the first couple, but we've got a starting ground. We've got £5 at a time profit at the minute, so it helps. We've got our first school, and as soon as we've got the permission we will start adding the high school and such. In fact, before I finish, no I won't because we ain't got the money at the minute. A public library and the community college always help as well, even though it's not one of the 3 main ones. Like you've got the grade school, high school and university, they still start getting students into education, and that overall helps industrial improve long term. Have we got any? Now in general I like to just export the ore because you start earning quite a lot of money off it pretty quick, and long term you can start building things such as the metals and the alloys which make a lot of money. And let's get rid of them. There we go. Right, I think we'll leave it there for now then. This is the very beginning of our city, and hopefully over time we will build a very nice modern city. Like I say, if you've got any comments in terms of how to improve the city or what to add next, feel free to comment and let us know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.